Okay, hello. I'm Dr. Robert McDonald. I'm here with Wies de Win. We're very lucky to have her today because we worked together, Wies tells me, about 11 years ago.
2008.
November of 2008?
Eight. Yeah.
A long time ago. We're now in May of 2019. And so we're having this talk just to learn what has happened in the 11 years since we worked on some very serious issues back then. So I'm glad to have it. So, Wies, I just want to ask you how you are and how you've been since the work, and maybe even you suffered, I think, before we worked in November of 2008, you suffered with some great pain, sorrow, trauma for a long time.
Yeah, for a long time.
How many years was it?
I struggled since 1988.
Yes.
Because that's when it all happened.
It all happened in 1988, so it was 20 years
in
before.
July 88. And it's 20 years. That's what I say to people if they ask how I am doing. I'm doing very well since you helped me with the therapy. But I always say I lost 20 years of my life.
Yeah.
But ever since we did that session, I'm very eager to do all kinds of things in life.
Yeah.
As if I want to,
make up for lost
time.
time.
Make up for lost time, and I know that I can't, but I do my very best.
Yeah.
I have my agenda always very full, and I want to discover the world.
To do everything.
Yeah, because now I feel like normal again.
Yeah, normal again.
Yeah, and I'm interested again in people and things what are happening in the world, and so I'm completely different.
Completely different.
Since, yeah.
I'm very glad to hear it. My understanding is that in 1998, a terrible trauma happened with you, that you suffered from the trauma for 20 years, trying many things. I think you tried many things.
Yes.
To be free of the trauma.
Yeah, and one therapy, I was for 3 months in a psychological institute.
Oh, really?
3 months, and Hank knows a lot about it, and I got a trauma from that as well.
From being
because I didn't feel in place. How do you say that?
In the right place.
Yeah, in the right place, and they told me whatever happens to you, it's your own fault. So as soon as you say, it's my fault, then you feel relieved, and then it's all gone.
They wanted you to blame yourself for something someone else did to you.
Yeah. That was the therapy, 3 months.
3 months of that?
Yeah.
So that also was a trauma?
Yeah. I struggled with that as well after that, because I felt, really nothing.
Oh yeah.
Who am I? What am I? What have I done? If that's my fault, I didn't understand it.
No. So they were telling you that because in 1998 there was a terrible man who did horrible things, right?
Yeah.
Can you say something about that?
Yes, I was sleeping in my own bed, in my own house, and then all of a sudden somebody jumped on top of me, and I couldn't move anymore because he really was sitting, and I hardly could see because it was in the middle of the night, but I saw a big knife, and then he put a pillow cover over my head, and he tied it here, and that stayed there for 6 hours.
6 hours?
He was in my house 6 hours. He raped me, and sometimes he left my bedroom, and then I didn't hear it, and then all of a sudden he jumped again on top of me, so each time...
Terrorizing you.
Really. It was really scary. And then, after 6, maybe more, a little bit less, I don't know, but then he left the house.
After 6 or more hours? Of
this? The cover was white, so I saw that there was light coming in. Because it was end of July, so it's 6 o'clock in the morning. And I think he wanted to be away. By then, because people could recognize him, of course, outside. And he already had done something like that before, 6 months before.
He was someone who was a serial rapist,
Yeah,
huh?
yeah.
And also killed someone, I think.
In 2006.
Later.
Later, when he was out of prison, he killed and raped and killed a 16-year-old girl.
Oh.
Yeah, and then for me, my light also went out.
When you learned of
Yeah,
that.
because then I realized what could have happened
The danger.
to me. Yeah, yeah.
It was already horrible what happened to you, but then you learned he was also capable of
Yeah.
murder.
Oh yeah, yeah. I knew it. I always said to the police and to the DA,
District attorney.
Yeah, yeah. Never let him out of prison again, because the next one he will kill. I know for sure. But
Yeah.
then they look at you as if you are.
They didn't believe you.
No, not at all. But yeah, he did. And yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, for me that was even worse than I think the whole night. I can't explain it.
Well,
because
you couldn't help the future person. You didn't. You couldn't. You tried, but you couldn't help them
no.
because they weren't listening.
No, no, they don't care. And before he came into my house that night, before that, a year and a half, before that, he came into my house when I was on holiday.
Before?
Before he, yeah, and then he had to come to me to apologize from a judge. The judge had to go over there and see if you can pay your money for all the damage you have done. And the police knew that he is a psychopath.
Yes, psychopath.
And he comes always back to victims he already has been to.
Oh, I see.
So, and he is the most escaped man in Holland. Each time he escaped from prison, I had to hide, sometimes for 3-4 weeks.
This went on for years.
For years. Yeah, for years.
And so you suffered with this from 1998 until 2008. All of those things. It was a terrible experience with the rape, terrible experience with being bound like this, terrible experience to learn that in 2006 he raped and killed a young woman. And and you couldn't, no matter what you said, you couldn't tell them, you couldn't fix it.
No.
It was also terrible that the mental institution that you were assigned to wanted you to blame yourself, which is already a trauma.
My fault, yeah.
And but by the time then you came to see me in 2008, and we did a piece of work for, I don't know, I think it was 2 hours long or an hour.
The most.
Yeah, most. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it wasn't even that long.
Wasn't that long, and it was in front of about 60 or 80 people actually.
Yeah.
And because I was demonstrating, and you didn't know me, we didn't know each other
no,
at all.
No, not at all. No.
And because no one knew what to do, actually, to help you.
I didn't know what to expect or whatever. I trusted Hank, and because I called Hank at a certain point from please can you help me, and then he said that you would come to Holland, and he said I want Robert to do it because he's the best. So I think Robert saw me also in the talk show on television.
It was Paula Capers.
Paula Capers who wrote me.
Saw you.
Yeah. I know somebody who can help you.
Yeah,
and
she
I
was
thought,
wonderful to do that.
Yeah.
She was really wonderful.
Yeah, but I thought at that point, again, therapy, and I've already had so many therapies, and nothing worked.
Nothing.
They didn't understand. Yeah, it's also hard to explain what you feel.
Precisely, yeah.
And they were always,
Well, they were also making things up. For example, that it's your fault.
Yeah.
This is a crazy, I'm sorry, but in my opinion, it's a crazy idea.
And do you know what they did? I had to lay down on a bed. And it happened in a bed. And other people were sitting around who also had therapy. And I had
to watch you there?
Yeah, to watch, and I had to tell what happened, and then at the end to say that it's my own fault, because,
That was the therapy.
Yeah.
This is,
there went a lot.
So they were trying their best to help you, but they had no idea what to do.
No, for
In
me,
fact, and they made it worse.
Yeah, for me they had to go to jail.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I had that feeling. I thought, you are nuts, not me.
Good for you.
Yeah, it's just something happened with me. Doesn't mean that I'm nuts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But what a testament, a strong affirmation of your strength that you could go through 3 months of that and then say, there's something wrong with the system.
Yeah.
The system is wrong.
Yeah, I should have walked out of it.
How
But
could
I
you
thought,
know?
yeah, but I thought maybe it still comes, or
Yeah.
maybe I don't know what's
Right.
coming.
Sure.
So I stayed
To
the whole
find
3
out.
months. Yeah,
Well, when you were done with that, it was, how long after the rape did you go to this,
4 years.
4 years later, so in 2002 or something?
92.
It was 1998 to...
Nee, 1988 it happened, and 1992.
Oh,
The year
92.
I turned 40, I went to 4 years after the rape.
So the rape was in what year?
1988.
88, not 98.
Nee, 88.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I
thought-
was 36 then.
Wow, yeah,
yeah.
1988.
8, yeah, and then I went to
I see.
for the therapy in 92 because I turned 40
I
that
see.
year. So
And then when you saw me was in 2008.
8,
It was
yeah,
many years
Yeah.
after the
Yeah.
after the fact,
yeah.
and you hadn't really been helped.
No, I think it was worse.
I think exactly. So I was wrong. I thought it was 20 years of pain, but it was 30 years of
Mhm.
pain. Is that right? From 1988,
Nee,
98,
that's
2008?
20. That's
No,
20.
it's 20? Okay,
Yeah.
20 years,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah. So here I am.
wow, yeah, it is 20 years.
Yeah.
Well, I'm so glad that we did the work then in 2008, and then your result was from that day?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I remember the first couple of days I didn't believe you because you told me you'll stay as calm
Yeah.
as you
That
feel
it's
now. I
finished.
thought, yeah, right. And then I remember I called you once or twice after that
Yeah,
because you still was here to tell how I felt.
yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, from the trauma
Yeah.
it's very silent on the inside.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, and before that, when I would read something in the paper about a girl missing and then found, raped and dead, then I would be very angry, nightmares. I wasn't pleasant to be around then. But that's all gone. I still think it's terrible and something, but yeah, everybody thinks
It doesn't
it's
trigger
terrible.
you.
No, not anymore. So it's really quiet.
So now, I'm glad I'm remembering what my dates are. And now in 2019, in May, it's been many years since the rape happened and many years
Yeah.
since you've been free of the trauma. 11 years
Yeah.
you've been free of the trauma.
Yeah.
And I'm very glad you're here because I'm wanting the people watching this to understand what's possible.
Yeah.
And the world, including the people that you saw before in mental hospitals, they have made a mistake. They are good intention, but they don't know how the mind works, and so they don't know how to resolve what they call PTSD or post-traumatic stress disorder.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know how to solve these traumas.
No.
But you are evidence of the solution, and as a result of your being here telling it, then anyone watching gets a chance to say, oh, if it can be so horrible and then be finished, this gives hope.
Yeah.
This gives hope to a
of
lot of
course,
people.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm convinced because when I look back in the beginning, you feel a victim, you are a victim, but it's like, you treat it like a child. In the beginning, I don't know how to explain. And I talk with people who have a trauma, and then I say, go to Hank, call him, because here I'm the biggest example that it works. But it's as if they don't want to let loose the trauma sometimes. And I think you need to be ready. To think, and now it's finished.
No, it's enough.
Because he can't ruin my whole life. And I want to live. I think that's also...
It's a big key.
Yeah.
Just to make it clear to the people who are watching, you recommend that they see Hank de Vos because Dr. Hank de Vos is a medical doctor in Holland.
Yeah.
He lives in Holland, south of Rotterdam, and he can do this, and he does do this regularly, and he works all the time with people who have these kinds of terrible
Last
experiences.
Monday I sent my cousin with his son. Now I start crying because...
There was a problem.
Yeah.
Your son?
My cousin, he has a son.
Yeah.
And he has psychosis.
Oh, he has a psychosis.
Yeah, well, he's 14 years old.
Yeah, I see.
So I said to my cousin, please go to Hank.
Of
I
course.
know that he can't heal it all, but
maybe something.
you can calm him down and try to make him less scared,
Yes.
because he's very scared of his thoughts and stuff. And I called my cousin.
To recommend Hank.
Yeah, and
Because
he went.
for family.
Yeah, and the child is now much calmer.
Oh,
Yeah,
he came to see Hank de Vos,
last Monday.
and now it's much better.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm
And
so
my
glad.
cousin, because I called this morning, just thought that I can tell you. And I sent more people. Nacht, my other
As
cousin,
many as possible.
already years and years ago. I think he came before I was treated. And he said, also it's the son of my youngest sister, he said, Wies, you don't need to be scared, because when I walked out of the house of Hank, I knew it was okay.
That's how powerful.
He was 19 then.
19.
He said, Wies, it was okay, and ever since it's okay.
So he resolved a powerful issue at 19 years old. So the tools that we're using, because I think that you make a good point about this, really I love this, it is not me, it is not Hank that's special. There are tools that anyone can learn if they will learn them. If they will say, okay, I want to learn this, and I want to have a loving, compassionate relationship with someone who's in pain, but I want to help them. I don't want to just say, I'm sorry for you. The tools are what's important. And so,
but thanks to you, there are tools, and thanks to Hank. I mean, does it come from heaven, eh?
ultimately, ultimately, of course, it's all
only rain, I think.
Yes, I think. Yes.
But I think each time when I meet people who have problems, this morning where I bought the flowers, I don't know what happened, but the girl looked at me and there was a kind of feeling, and I said, I buy these flowers for two men who saved my life.
Oh.
And then she said, how come? What happened? So I told her
told
a
the
little
story.
bit. She said, wow, I write down his name and the destination therapy, Google it. And I think there was something also wrong. And maybe you feel that, huh?
Yeah.
And she said, when I'm finished working, I start looking.
So this was today.
This morning.
This morning
when I
you
bought
did
the
this.
flowers, yeah.
And you spoke about something that happened all those years ago, and then the resolution.
Yeah, just a little, not doll, but
Yeah.
little things that I had a trauma.
So you're passing on this possibility.
Yeah,
hope.
wherever I can. Yeah, I tried bigger companies and stuff, but I don't know, it's ruled by men often, and they think,
They don't listen.
no, they don't listen. So then I can better do it in small portions.
I believe that this is exactly right, because you make a personal relationship with the woman you're buying the flowers from.
Yeah.
She hears you.
Yeah.
And she takes a moment to listen to you.
Yeah, she really was emotional as well. So I think.
See, because I remember that you were on a Dutch television show, a famous Dutch one, as Paul and Wittmann.
Yeah, Paul and Wittmann, yeah.
And they were very interested in the beginning. And in fact, I think they said, how is it possible that you still have a problem after all these years?
Yeah.
It was before you saw me.
Yeah.
And you said, well, it is.
Yeah.
And then that's how Paula Capers found you.
Yeah.
And those people on the television, at first they were very interested in the solution, but then they didn't.
No, they promised me that I could come back to the talk show again.
Yeah.
Because I said to them, invite me again and I will tell you how to treat victims.
Yes.
Instead of talking about it. And then they said, promised. They never did. So I wrote them mails. You promised me that I could come back because I want to make. And then that was after you treated me. And then I thought, I said to Hank, then I could invite 6 or 8 people to come with me. I think I do Hank and Anneke and yeah. But they never reacted on that. That's good news, eh?
They weren't interested in the good news.
No, they only want bad news.
So you learned something there.
Yeah.
And I'm very happy that you said, well, you didn't give up, because this morning, when you're buying flowers, you were teaching someone.
It just happened. And I come there very often and it never happened. But sometimes, I don't know, it's feeling what you have.
Well, I think it's very generous and kind of you. And so I want to thank you for this time, because the reason for this video is so that when people see it, they have an option to, they don't have to believe it, an option to explore.
They can call me.
They can call you up. They can call me up. They can call Hank up.
Yeah, I often say call me.
Yeah.
Make an appointment, I'll tell you.
Do you want to tell your phone number, or you want not? You don't have to do that because it's a videotape online.
But do you have my number? I'll give you my
But
number,
I can
so
give you-
whenever it's necessary.
I'll
then,
make sure that they can call
yeah.
me. They can call me at, I'm in California at 714-577-5717, which is my business number in Southern California, 714-577-5717. Then you speak to me personally in my business office. It's a Telos Healing Center. And then I can give you Wies's phone number in case you want that.
Yeah.
And also, you can look online and see our website. My wife, Dr. Lizette, and I work together, and we own the Telos Healing Center in Southern California, and we have our office also here in South Ireland, where Dr. Hank de Vos and his wife Annika have their medical practice. So it's possible not only in the USA but also in Europe, and everything is possible now. So you can look online at theloscenter.com, or just look up my name. Actually, I'm the only Robert D.E.E. McDonald. My middle name is D.E.E.D. And I'm the only one on the internet with that kind of name. So then you put that in, and suddenly you will have my website, even if you forget the name of the company. And then we'll contact you. You can talk to us. We can do everything. We want to help heal the heart of the world and transform the skills that people are using, because the skills that people are using to resolve post-traumatic stress disorder, all traumatic painful memories, the skills that people are currently being taught at universities, and I have taught at many universities, they don't work. When I teach them, it works. I know exactly how it works. It's not about me, it's about effective tools. If you're interested in this kind of thing, please give us a call or look on the website, look on YouTube. I have about 27 videos on YouTube, these things. Okay, but anyway, we're very grateful to Wies de Win. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. It's my pleasure.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.